Hey friends, how are y'all? I am so excited to be here today. So honored that Krista asked me to come on and talk to y'all. I'm going to give everybody just a second to hop on if you're on and I'm in the right place in Krista Deary's team page. Please let me know because that would be something else if I was in the wrong page. But I am Emily Haas. I'm an Emerald Ambassador, and I am just really excited to be here. So, those of y'all that are on, will you let me know that I'm in the right page, that I'm in Krista's team page? I have this major fear of being in the wrong place, and I also cannot see comments. So, there you have that. But, okay, we're just going to roll with it. So I want to talk to y'all today for just a few minutes about two things that have been on my heart a lot lately, and that is, well, three things really: faith, fear, and excellence. Those are things that really I have been dealing with, I have been thinking about, and I just want to share them with y'all because they've been a huge part of my journey. So thank you, Ashley. I'm in the right place. The longer I'm talking, the more nervous I get that I'm in the wrong place. But okay, thank you so much. So I just want to share about those three things with y'all today and throw in my story along the way because most of y'all probably are not familiar with my story or probably even familiar with me, but I want to give you a look at where I've come from so that you can see how these things have played into my story and where I'm at today. So I joined back in April of 2015. So coming up on my 7-year anniversary, which completely blows my mind when I think about it. I joined actually for the business, and I meant from the time that I hit that enroll button that I was going to be a diamond. That was and has been my only goal ever, okay, was to go diamond. And like I said, when I hit that enroll button, that was my goal. And I don't know, I gotta get these comments off. But okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a look at my rank up journey because it definitely did not go like I had planned, but I know that every step has been ordered. And so hopefully this will encourage some of you. It probably will surprise some of you, but here we go. So I joined, like I said, April 2015. That July, I went silver. The following April, so almost a year later, is when I hit gold. That was in 2016. And then in April of 2017, I went senior gold. So a full year later, I went senior gold. Then that September, I hit ruby. That was my fastest rank up to date, was from senior gold to ruby. And I was super excited about that. But that's where things kind of changed a little bit. I actually was ruby for 3 years. 3 years I was ruby. But always working, always showing up. Like I probably have been on more team calls than any other person on our team. Because I just believe so strongly in the power of showing up and being a visible leader and all the things. So I was ruby for 3 years, but never ever stopped working. And that's one thing that I really want to point out, is that I never stopped working, and I never once considered quitting, ever. I had moments where I was like, God, what is happening? I know I'm supposed to be here. This is taking a really long time. What am I doing wrong? What is going on? Please tell me. Give me something here. What is happening, right? But I never considered quitting. Never, ever, okay? So, ruby for 3 years. And then last March, I hit senior ruby. And that was, to date, the most exciting, biggest, most joyous thing that had happened in my business was when I hit Senior Ruby, because I had worked so hard and so long to see that, and it finally happened, and it was huge, right? And so we were definitely in momentum, and 3 months later, last June, I went Emerald, and I cannot express what that meant to me, but I can tell you it felt just as good 6 years later after I joined as it ever would have if I'd have gone faster. But I was so much more prepared for it that I was able to handle it and to be ready for it and be prepared and all of those things. So that is a look at my journey. I just wanted to show you all that just so you could see it's not been quick and it's not been easy. It's definitely not a lottery ticket, but that's where I've been. And also, just to get real vulnerable here, I wanted to give y'all a look at my points over the years, because, you know, a lot of times we look and we expect these journeys to be, you know, we join Plexus, we get excited, we're doing the things, we want to go diamond, we want to go gold, we want to go ruby, and we expect it to be an uphill climb, right? And sometimes it is an uphill climb, but a lot of times on that way up, you're going to have a dip. And you're going to have a little up, and then you're going to have more dips. And you might have a pretty low dip, and then you get to go up again. But keep going, and you'll get there. That's what I want to tell y'all today. So I'm just going to hold this paper up. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but this is my point journey from start to finish. Well, to now. And you can see that more times than not, I was definitely down. Okay? So down, up a little bit, down. Here we go up again, and then we drop some more. Very low down here. And then I want y'all to see this spike. That spike right there is the compound effect of consistency. It is lots of prayer. It is lots of hard work. It is just faith and believing, knowing that I know that I'm meant to be here, and refusing to quit. Babe Ruth says you just cannot beat the person who simply refuses to quit, and I'm owning that. I'm going to be that person. I am that person, okay? So you can be that person too. That's what I want y'all to know. So that is a little of my story in a nutshell. There's a whole lot more. Got some other calls on my YouTube if y'all want to watch that, look at it. But I wanted to show you those things before I talk about faith and fear and excellence, so you know where I'm coming from, okay? 100% what I can tell you is that this whole thing has been worth it. The whole thing. This will be 7 years for me, April 26th. And it's been worth it. Every single day has been worth it. Every choice I made to keep going has been worth it, because it's all been preparing me for where I am now and where I'm going, which is diamond. Going to diamond, no doubt. And I'm not going by myself. I don't want to go by myself. My goal is to go diamond and be taking all the people I can with me. I want to be a leader who is raising up other leaders, and we're making a huge impact in the world for Jesus, okay? That's my goal. That is where we're going. And every choice that I've made along the way is putting us there, okay? And I don't want y'all to think and hear, you know, that I'm like, oh, all these choices have been making me go. But they have, you know, but it has not been easy. There have definitely been lots of coaching calls, lots of tears, lots of hard days. But every single day, every single negative thought that comes in, we have a choice to make, okay? And nobody can make that choice but us. So you have to make a decision which choice you're going to make, okay? So the first thing I want to talk to y'all about is faith. What are you praying for? So this past month, well, I have a big goal. I have a big goal that I want to hit by July, okay? And I've been praying over it daily, and I just tell God all the time, God, listen, I trust you. It's yours. I'm handing it to you. I trust you, okay? But in the next breath, what I like to say, and what I did say last month is, listen, I seriously trust you. I'm handing this over to you. But if you want to let us hit this particular point goal in March, I would really be okay with that. Just really would help my feelings a lot, and I would be totally okay with that. So we worked, busted our butts. We're crushing goals left and right. We had girls ranking up, and we didn't hit that goal. We did not hit that point goal that I had told God, this will help my feelings. So I know I'm handing it to you, but this is going to help my feelings. And you know what he said? How about no? How about no? Because I'm not in the business of making sure you feel good, okay? And we didn't hit that goal. And you know what? I had a choice to make in that moment last Thursday night when we did not hit that point goal. I could wallow and be a victim and say, why the heck not? Because y'all, we were this close. We were just short of it. And I could have said that, or I could remember all those prayers that I've been praying saying, I trust you. And that's what I chose. That is what I chose. And it was not the natural choice, because most of the time we tend to go the other way. But it's what I chose, and it's what I'm walking on. It's why I'm in such a good place and headspace and all that now, is because I chose to say, you know what? You're not in the business of making sure I feel good all the time, but you do have my steps ordered. I do know that you have me here for a reason, and I'm going to continue to trust you. So that's what I did. And I realized that little side note prayer that I was praying about, if you want to let us hit this extra points, that was a safety net. It was a safety net that only benefited me. It only benefited my feelings. And faith just doesn't work on safety nets, y'all. Here's the thing. If you're working on faith, you just got to step out of the boat. You're not stepping out of the boat while it's sitting at the dock. You're stepping out of the boat into deep, deep water where you are going to sink and drown if your eyes are not on Jesus. And that is not always an easy thing to do, to step out of that boat. But if you're willing, He is there, and He will hold your hands, and He will walk with you, and He's going to carry you. And so, faith. If you're going to live with faith, this business requires a lot of it. You're just going to have to step out of the boat, and you're going to have to keep your eyes on Jesus and trust Him. Trust Him that His ways are higher than yours. His plans are greater than yours. And if y'all might not be like me, but I like to tell God the plans that I like for Him to have. And then He likes to laugh in my face sometimes. But we have a relationship, and it's okay. We can handle it. But He holds our future. He makes the plans. He directs our steps, and He's there. So is it scary? Heck yes. It is absolutely scary. But here is something. We went to Charlotte last fall and went to Elevation and heard Stephen Furtick, and one thing he said there that Sunday spoke so loudly to me. He was talking about the disciples, and he said that when they learned about faith, it was against the backdrop of their biggest fear. And I was like, holy cow, that is really powerful. Really, really powerful. And so my question to you is, what are you scared of? What is the fear that is holding you back, or that just keeps replaying in your mind? What is that fear? Take time to think about that and recognize it, and then realize that that very thing could be what God is going to take and allow you to learn so much about faith and about Him. So, I believe that every person here is here for a reason. God has you here. He's got all the options in the world, like all the people, right? But He chose you to be here in this moment, in this time, in this team, in this company for a reason. So, choose what you're going to allow Him to do. Are you going to step out of the boat and walk in faith? Or are you going to sit back and be fearful and be a victim and be just, I can't think of the word, but let negative thoughts control what you're doing? So it's just a choice, and you have to make that choice. Nobody can make it for you. But I also want to talk to y'all about excellence for a minute, because this is something that's been really big on my heart. And we read Success is a Choice by John Maxwell, this little book. If y'all have not read it, fantastic. It's basically like all the best things from all of John Maxwell's books in one little book, and it's so, so good. But read this book if you have not. But there's a quote in it, and it says, "No one ever attains eminent success by simply doing what's required of him. It's the amount of excellence of what is over and above the required that determines greatness. All accomplishments begin with a decision to try and then some. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is the extra." And I love that quote so much. Because given extra effort is what gives you an edge. It's what gives you that extra little thing, above other people. So I just want to encourage y'all to give your best every single day in everything you do. When you feel it, give it your best. When you don't feel it, give it your best. One of my favorite Bible verses is Colossians 23. "Put your heart and soul into every activity as though you were doing it for the Lord Himself." And that is what I aspire to. Definitely don't always get there, but that is what I aspire to. And if you don't strive for excellence, like if excellence is not your goal, then you're settling for acceptable. And the next step below acceptable is mediocrity, and nobody pays for mediocrity. This is another thing out of the book. He says if you want to reach your potential and be more successful, you have to keep practicing with excellence. So we talked about faith, and stepping out of the boat, letting God lead you and guide you where you need to be. But then our part in that also is to do it with excellence. Everything that we're doing to show up big and bold. So I want to encourage y'all today to evaluate and reflect. Are you showing up every day with excellence? How can you improve? Where is there room for you to improve and grow? Because we all have room for that, right? But show up for your friends. Show up for your family. Show up for your customers. Show up for you. Show up for Him. Show up for Him. And then watch what He does. Watch what He does. Because my other favorite Bible verse is Ephesians 3:20, that simply says, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask, think, or imagine. And that just requires us stepping out in faith, doing the things, not allowing fear to dictate our thoughts, our actions, but to simply trust God and know that if we are faithful in the little, He is faithful in the much. And what He is capable of doing is more than we can even begin to imagine. So that goal that I have set for July, it's nothing to Him. It's nothing compared to what He is able to do. So that's just what was on my heart that I wanted to share with y'all today. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it encourages you. keep going, keep going, keep going. It is 100% worth it. I hope y'all have an awesome day. Bye.